We're back again, Dr. Crankies. Now remember the last one we took the wheel off the bike and we took the tube out. Now we have to check what caused the puncture. Before you put just a new tube in or patch the hole in the tube, the important thing to do is to pump up the tube and see what made the hole happen, or what made the tube go down. So we'll pump this one up and check, see what we can hear. So we'll pump up. Oops, I'll put this up here so you can see. Don't pump it up too much or you might blow it up, but keep on pumping till about this, so it's pretty full, and then listen. There it is. See if you can hear or feel it on your cheek where the air is coming out. So on this one you can feel it. And if I put a bit of water on it, it'll bubble up. It's only a tiny hole. Oh, I might need to pump it up a bit more to find it. Ah, there it is. Little hole, I'm not sure if you can see it. And if we put a bit of, excuse the spit, if you put a bit of water on it, it'll bubble up. So now we've found where it is, you can actually mark it with a pen so you don't forget where it is. The important thing now is to line it up where the hole was. Right, that's why we left the tyre on the wheel. Trace it around and have a look there if you can find anything there. And here we go. There's your problem. There's a tack. Your tyre's been attacked. If we'd put a new tube in there, it would have made another hole. So it's important to check what caused it. If it's a piece of glass, it's a bit hard to find. It might have fallen out. But I always run my fingers all the way around the inside again and see if there's anything else in there. If it's a piece of glass, you can feel it, or a piece of wire, and you pull that out. The other thing that can happen, if your tube hasn't got enough air in it, the rim of the wheel can push down and make a pinch flat, so then you'll find two holes. A bit hard to patch, but then you've got two holes. But that's a sign that you haven't inflated your tube enough. Okay, so we've taken that out and we get a new tube. Now we've got to find the right size tube. We've gone to the bike shop. On the outside of the tyre will be marked the size of the tube. This says 20 by 1.75, so we're looking for a 20-inch tube, and we want a Schrader valve. So here we go, we look on there, it says, well, that's the wrong size, 24, but it'll say Schrader valve there. See, Schrader? For the Presta valve, sometimes it doesn't say Presta valve. If you look here, sometimes it just says FV for French valve. Remember, we call it a French valve? So Schrader valve, French valve. So we went and got a new tube. This is actually the old one, I cheated. So then we've got to put this back in. So we've kept the tyre on. And we just want one side off and one side on. Alright, one side off, one side on. And we start with the side that's off, and we look at where the valve hole is. See, the valve hole is just there. There's the valve hole. Yep. This is the side that's off. We pull that back and we shove the valve all the way in and then pull it back over. Alright, so we put it in there and push it all the way in and then pull that over. Right. and that's the hardest bit. Okay, tuck it all the way in, all the way around. So the tube is in. You don't want any air in there or very little air. Alright, and then I start here and I pull that back so it just goes on one side, and then I'm holding this side, right, and work my way round. Slowly push it back. So now it's on, and I can slowly pull it back over, and it gets a bit hard towards the end. You can see here, now it's running a little bit, pulling it, pushing, and just work on the edges, don't try and do it from the middle. Yep. And then I like the technique where you just pull the whole thing over from the edge. I just keep on pulling up, and then hear that pop, that's it, and then we'll pump it up. Put that on there, and pumping up. Do 4 or 5 pumps, and then just check there's nothing falling out of the outside, that it's sitting in properly. Sometimes the tube sits out and then it can explode, so make sure it's, they call it beaded, it's on the rim properly, and then we get all the way up. To, you know, our 40 psi. So that's all on. So that's, you replace the tube. Pretty easy. A bit harder with higher pressure tyres or thinner tyres, but we can deal with that at a later stage. But that's how you put the tube back in and check, you know, take that tack out or the glass before we put it in. Then it goes back on the bike. We'll show you that in the next video.